Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode with I Trek. Big shout out to everybody that's taking the time out to enjoy their holidays, man. I'm already one plate of food in, and I wanted to go ahead and drop a video so you guys have something to watch when that itis sets in. You know what I'm talking about? So smash that like button, the subscribe button. You already know what to do, and let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Tonight, that stunning headline coming in from Thailand. A woman found alive inside a coffin that was going to be sent for cremation. The 65-year-old woman's brother saying she had been bedridden for 2 years. The family thought she had died when she appeared to stop breathing. Staff at a temple then heard knocking, opening the coffin to find her alive. Tonight, she's now being treated at the hospital.
By 2050, the world will look very different. Nigeria will surpass the United States in population, and 1 in 4 people will be African. China will be shrinking and will have already lost 100 million people, and India's population will peak around 1.7 billion before it starts to decline. And Europe will be aging rapidly. Germany is going to lose 5 million people, and Italy is going to lose 4 million. And Eastern European countries like Bulgaria are going to lose a quarter of their populations from immigrations and low birth rates. By 2050, Japan and South Korea will have lost 20% of their population and be facing serious population issues. And South Korea is going to be the oldest population in history, with most people being over the age of 50. The United States population is 340 million now and will rise to 400 million by 2050. Both the Hispanic and Asian populations in the United States are going to double. And South America is expected to peak around 2050 at 470 million people. Russia is going to lose around 11 million people, and poor Greenland is going to lose a fifth of its population. The top 5 most populated countries in 2050 will be India, China, Nigeria, the United States, and Pakistan. And Lagos, Nigeria is going to rise to 30 million people and become one of the largest cities in the world. Another crazy thing is by 2050, the global population will hit 10 billion, and it will rise until about 2080 before it starts to decline. And that's where population issues are going to get really scary.
And according to Elon, those humanoid bots are going to outnumber everybody. So that'll be really interesting to see.
It's honestly a miracle that the Wizard of Oz movie actually got made, because the entire production was a real-life horror story. First off, the Tin Man was originally played by a different actor named Buddy Ebsen. He was covered in a silver makeup made up of actual aluminum dust, and just 10 days into filming, he collapsed unable to breathe, which the studio called an allergic reaction. What really happened is that he was constantly inhaling aluminum dust and went into critical condition, spending 2 months on an oxygen breather. So the studio replaced him with Jack Haley, who was instead covered in an aluminum paste that gave him a severe eye infection that required emergency surgery. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch, had to go on a strict liquid diet while filming because the green makeup she wore was copper-based and toxic if ingested. When a trapdoor malfunction caused her to get second and third degree burns on her face and hands, the makeup team had to remove her makeup as quickly as possible before it seeped into her wounds by pouring alcohol on her. The next day, the studio asked when she would be coming back to work, and she was out of work for 6 weeks. The snow scene in the poppy field that was covering all of the main actors, that was 100% pure asbestos. Keep in mind, this was already after the fact that we knew asbestos causes cancer. But the worst has got to be the way Judy Garland, who played Dorothy, was treated, who was only 16 years old at the time. She was forced to wear a corset to make her look younger, given tobacco to suppress her appetite, uppers to help her stay awake during long filming days, and downers to help her sleep. During a scene with the Cowardly Lion, she couldn't stop laughing because of all the drugs in her system, so the director slapped her across the face. I don't think I can ever look at this movie the same.
And on top of all of that, somebody unalived himself and was hanging in the backdrop of one of the scenes. So yeah, that movie had a lot going on.
Kate Beckinsale was on Jimmy Kimmel and told him that her daughter's boyfriend lays eggs. She claims he laid 2 eggs within a week and tells Kimmel it was so hard for her to believe, but he was genuinely so freaked out that she was convinced it was real. She said they broke the egg open to find a kind of hard-boiled yolk inside that she says kind of cooked inside of him. She showed photos only to Jimmy and Guillermo. We never saw them. And Jimmy's only response was that her daughter must be dating the Easter Bunny. Kate says she called every doctor she knows, texted them, anyone they've ever been to medical school with, and still no satisfactory or definite answer. Curious to know what you guys think. Is this just some really elaborate prank she has fallen for, or do we have a miracle on our hands?
Only thing I have to tell Kate Beckinsale is stop the cap.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
The crazy thing about Bob Barker being 99 years old when he passed was just like on his TV show, he was closest to 100 without going over.
This has never happened before in recorded history. A whole country this morning woke up to the news I don't think they were ever expecting. For the first time in roughly 10,000 years, this volcano has come back from the dead. And not only did its explosion send ash up to 15 kilometers in the sky, which is significantly higher than commercial airplanes fly at, but this massive plume can be seen from space. Now, while fortunately the volcano is located in northeast Ethiopia, which is one of the hottest and least inhabitable regions on Earth, the emissions are so intense that they're now drifting towards neighboring countries as well. And this thing can be spotted in villages hundreds of kilometers away. Jeez! Happy Monday, Ethiopia!
This was Da Vinci's favorite drawing tool for one reason. It couldn't be erased. Every line had to be perfect. It's called silver point. When silver touches the page, it oxidizes and leaves a metallic mark that lasts forever. But it only works on paper coated with bone powder and glue. Over time, those lines fade into a warm brown, giving the drawing an ancient, timeless look.
If you can eat something, it's edible.
The food's edible.
If you can drink something, it's potable.
But the wine is potable.
If you can carry something, it's portable.
But I can still use the portable stove.
If you can feel something, it's palpable.
The pain here is palpable.
If you can choose something, it's eligible.
He is one of the world's most eligible bachelors.
Someone stamped John F. Kennedy's head next to Abraham Lincoln's on this penny because of some spooky coincidences. Both of these men were shot in the head on a Friday. Kennedy was shot in a Ford vehicle, Lincoln in Ford's theater. They were both first elected to Congress in 46 and to the presidency in 60. The presidents who followed them were both Southerners named Johnson, born in 08. Andrew Johnson and Lyndon Johnson both contain 13 letters. Kennedy and Lincoln both contain 7 letters. John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald both contain 15 letters. Oswald shot Kennedy from a storage building and was later caught in a theater. Booth shot in a theater and was later caught in a storage building. Abraham Lincoln's lifelong best friend was Joshua Fry Speed, and the co-host of my new podcast is Hannah Fry. Are these all just coincidences, or are they clues left by the true authors of reality for those of us with real eyes to realize? Well, I think the answer is both. You see, the authors of reality scribble down 10 tredecillion scenes a second, and the fact that we, the readers of reality, can find amongst 8 people who each could be described by millions of different dates and moments and attributes 12 similarities, isn't actually amazing at all. It's a sign that there's a lot more to discover. Competitions to find coincidences between other people have yielded so many lists between so many people that what would really make us question reality would be the discovery of 2 people whose lives contain no coincidences at all. That would be truly spooky, and we should find those 2 people right now.
In Japan, there's a custom where if you get to work early, you park really far away from the building so that everyone who gets there later can get to work on time. There's no way anyone in the United States will do this. Everyone's way too greedy.
Nope, wouldn't work in America. If you snooze, you lose. That's just the way it goes.
How Americans really speak. It is nice out, snice out.
Nice out.
Will you call her? Will you call her?
Will you call her back?
I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
I didn't even know you applied there.
What did you order? What'd you order?
What'd you order?
It's different. It's different.
Every country I've ever been to, people tend to make up their own way of communicating, whether it's politically correct or not. So it's not just America. I know that's a fact.
Aladdin and the genie. In the current story, he gets 3 wishes, but the original story was unlimited wishes because this was a story that was created to show how life works. Whatever you think, the law says, your wish is my command. That's why when you're grateful, when you say something kind, when you're nice to somebody, it is going to multiply.
King James was a demonologist and an occultist. Yes, the same King James who authorized the translation of the Bible that we know as the King James Version wrote a book in 1597 called Demonology. It was a guide on demons, spirits, witchcraft, and how to identify, interrogate, and punish witches. James wasn't just an armchair theorist. He was obsessed with witchcraft. He personally oversaw witch trials in Scotland, including the infamous North Berwick witch trials, where he believed witches were summoning storms to try to kill him. People were tortured, interrogated, and executed because James was convinced witchcraft was a political threat. King James is one of the main reasons we have the modern concept of witches making pacts with the devil. He personally helped define a stereotype of witches as devil worshippers, something that wasn't a universal belief before his influence. His obsession even shaped literature. Shakespeare wrote the witches in Macbeth during James's reign, drawing directly from James's fears and from demonology itself. Those eerie prophetic witches, that is King James' influence in modern culture. So when you hear people today describing witches as evil, demonic, or devil worshippers, they are echoing ideas that come directly from one king's personal fears, not from ancient traditions. And this is an important reminder that sometimes the beliefs that we take for granted weren't handed down by history. They were shaped by the fears of powerful men.
Okay. Busta Rhymes either lost a bet or he's trying to tell us something. Talk to us, Buster.
I like this Christmas looking shit in the summer. And thank you all for being such a wonderful gift to us. I do want to say this though. I love the way the room looks. I love the way the room feels. I love the way the fucking room sounds.
Fun fact of the day.
The largest turkey ever recorded was a bird named Tyson from Peterborough, England. He weighed 86 pounds, as much as a typical 12-year-old.
Astral projection can be dangerous. I've got a buddy, very powerfully psychic. He decided, I want to go visit one of these underground bases. He locked onto one of these deep underground bases. He went into it. While he was in it, he was in a section of it where it was just lots of these vats of what looked like acid. He's literally grabbed and shoved down and held in it. You can attack people psychically and cause harm. What he did was the equivalent as a remote viewer of walking up to the gates of Area 51 in broad daylight, thinking they can't see you, and then they let you in and kick your ass. That's what they did to him. Deep underground bases have psychic goon squads where if they detect you trying to remote view or astrally project into their base, they will countermeasure you.
The most depressing days I've had in my life are the days shortly after I've made a tremendous amount of money, because you see your account get inflated and you look at that number and you're excited for like a few hours to maybe a day, and then it hits you that you just achieved something that you've been trying to achieve for so long. There's definitely a sweet spot for wealth, but once you go above it, it's like the opposite of what you think. I'll give you the perfect example. We started traveling on spring break to these resorts that are like $2,800 a night. It's like the nicest resorts in the entire world. And you have people that are just like bowing to you in any little thing that you need. And everything is so gorgeous and beautiful. And the food is, everything's perfect. And after a few days, you're like, this kind of sucks. Once you've experienced it, now you have an issue with just regular good stuff.
Science shows women who clean are smoking 26 per day. And no, this isn't an exaggeration. A 20-year study found that women who regularly clean their homes lost lung function equivalent to smoking 20 cigarettes a day for the entire period. Oddly, men didn't show the same damage. The culprit? Chronic exposure to cleaning chemicals, especially sprays and volatile compounds. The worst category for this lung inflammation is disinfectant sprays, such as Lysol cleaning spray, which has alcohol disinfectants, which dehydrate and damage your airway epithelial cells, triggering inflammation pathways. It also contains propellants like butane, which create ultrafine particles and deliver chemicals like VOCs into your air. In addition to most cleaning supplies, like Lysol all-purpose cleaner containing fragrance chemicals, which can trigger airway hyperreactivity and damage epithelial cells. Another contributing factor is women tend to use more products with fragrance and perfumes, which have more of these harmful chemicals affecting lung function. The best way to mitigate this damage is using non-toxic products like Honest Clean Wipes, which I found on Oasis.
Can you imagine the irony? Just wanting to keep your house clean, but it's killing you all along. It's crazy.
There's a theory that the world already ended, and it actually happens every Tuesday at 4:12 a.m. And the creepy part? Millions of people swear they felt it. It's called the Tuesday Reset Theory, and once you hear this, you'll start noticing it too. The idea is simple, but terrifying. Every Tuesday morning at exactly 4:12 a.m., reality shuts down. Not metaphorically, not spiritually, literally. Everything, time, consciousness, even physical laws, rewind just enough to keep the simulation stable. You don't feel it because you're not supposed to, but some people wake up early enough to catch the glitch. Like the guy who said he woke up at 4:10 and watched the moon jump a few inches to the left, instantly. Or the woman who said her entire house made a low humming sound right before everything went silent, like someone hit the mute button on the universe. And here's the weirdest part. People all over the world report the same thing on Tuesdays. Birds go quiet, clocks freeze for exactly 1 second, and the air feels thick, like it's holding its breath. Researchers who looked into it noticed something even stranger. Global data spikes on Tuesday mornings. Servers reboot, security cameras glitch, GPS systems drift by a few feet. Nobody has an explanation, but it always happens around 4:12 a.m. So pretty much the world ends every Tuesday, but the simulation reloads us into the closest stable version of reality. That's why things fell off lately. That's why people remember different details. That's why nothing feels the same as it did a few years ago. Because technically, we're not in the same world we started in. As always, stay weird.
Sounds like a little bit of a reach to me. So we're going to go ahead and call cap on that. That's cap.
Not only are the shorelines going to come up on the coast, California is a completely failed experiment. I saw that pretty well. It almost looks like cracks in the earth, and all of this water essentially just starts flooding it.
Should we talk about what places to avoid living at?
What I saw was a tremendous amount of flooding, civil unrest on American soil. There are going to be many people who relocate. There will be pockets of safety, and it looked more so in the middle of the U.S., the Dakotas, Nebraska, pockets of Utah. Those were kind of the more safer areas. Arizona looked pretty underwater. Denver is one of the fastest sinking cities right now, which I was shocked.
What about Vegas in the desert?
It's not all gone, but there's going to be parts. You know, you would like to do a time frame, but it's not always like that.
This is why flat earthers exist. You see how far you have to zoom in just to be able to see Mount Everest, which is the tallest peak on Earth, and the Challenger Deep, which is the deepest trench on Earth in the ocean. They have to keep zooming in just to be able to see a tree. You can't see the curve of Earth with your naked eye.
This guy, Peter Layden, is a longtime tech expert and thought leader on the future, predicting technology of like the advancement and stuff. He believes within the years 2025 to 2050, at one point, we will have a global governance.
Oh boy.
Primarily ran by AI.
Oh my gosh, Jesus, come back.
He broke down the 80-year cycle and he laid it out. He's saying 2025 is actually the peak. I know.
Is the AI gonna try to kill us all?
Yeah. I just don't see a world where everybody's wealthy. I think there's always going to be some sort of a gap. But if AI can kind of figure that out somehow, some way, that would be nice. That definitely would be nice. But that 1% will always be the 1%. Let's not get that confused.
If your pinky can move this easily, it's a sign your brain is in great shape. Just 7-10 seconds a day of this exercise can help protect against Alzheimer's and improve brain plasticity.
This right here is a Krampus celebration going on in Norway. I'm not trying to ruin Christmas for you. I'm just showing you how other people celebrate Christmas around the world. By the way, credit to that guy right there. So this right here, Krampus, is actually a half demon, some other kind of monster that's supposed to come and punish children. And he comes on behalf and with Saint Nick. This story gets a whole lot stranger and a whole lot darker in 1 second. That second is now. You're probably wondering, what does Krampus do to adults? He comes to put people in the chains of bondage. You can't even make this up. Which brings us to Saint Nick. Had y'all ever thought it strange that Santa Claus lives at the North Pole? He sees you when you're sleeping. He sees you when you're awake. He's all-knowing, omnipotent, always there to give someone according to their works. He punishes the children badly with birch rods. And the North Pole, where Santa lives, being omnipotent, they also have the aurora, which the colors mimic that of God's throne. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to make Santa in the likeness of God and an anagram for Satan, just for fun. And the North Pole, home to Rufus Niger, the great magnetic mountain of the North. Also on all the maps before the 1700s. I would even argue more protected than Antarctica itself. Wonder why? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Ask almost anybody about the music industry. One word always comes up: the Illuminati. Some laugh it off, some swear it's real. But whether you believe it or not, the signs are everywhere. But how much of this is just internet fantasy, and how much is evidence that there's dark forces that control the music industry? In this video, you'll see 4 of the most evil music conspiracy theories. And some of them still yet to be explained. So there's many theories out there about Taylor Swift, including her having control over the outcome of the Super Bowl, all the way down to her being a witch.
Like an evil plan, but don't tell anyone.
No, that is evil. But the one that's the most bizarre and hardest to explain is, why the hell does she look like Zena LaVey?
My father founded the Church of Satan in 1966, and I was the first legal satanic baptism in history.
High priestess of the Church of Satan and daughter of the man who created it, Anton LaVey. Now, obviously, they're not the same person because Zena's still alive today. But some people believe that Zena cloned herself in a ritual to guarantee fame and wealth. Now, I'm sure we've all heard of artists doing weird things for money, but would someone really go that far?
We can't pray to any outside deity for anything good or bad to happen. If we want something to happen in our favor, we have to take the necessary steps to do it. We can't rely on anyone else.
Now, the connections don't just stop at looks. Satanists are actually not opposed to the idea of cloning. They've written about it. And they also believe Satan and evil can be inside of anything, like music or even a person.
Satan can take the form of a beautiful woman. Satan can take the form of a sleek animal. An automobile can be very satanic.
Okay, they look alike and some weird guy wrote an article about cloning. That proves nothing. But what if I told you Zena was also a singer? Now, I didn't say she was a good singer, but if she was, I guess there'd be no reason to do a satanic ritual to make a talented version of yourself. The main concept of the conspiracy is Taylor was born in 1989, and Zena left the church in 1990, completing the ritual and passing the title of high priestess to her other self. Now, what makes this theory even stronger is that some people believe Taylor practices witchcraft and puts it in her music. There's actually been reports of fans not remembering Taylor Swift concerts that they went to.
You spent almost $1,000 on a ticket, right? And you can't remember anything?
It felt like so surreal. Afterwards, as we were leaving, I was like, did she play this song? I don't remember this song. I don't remember her doing that. And just little things like that. But I do remember going to the concert.
Now, to be honest, this sounds pretty ridiculous. There's a new clone theory about a celebrity almost every year. Avril Lavigne, Eminem, Jamie Foxx, Kanye. And even if human cloning was possible, I'm sure there'd be some side effects. But what makes this story hard to ignore is how much Zena actually looks like Taylor in her younger days. Even this woman who got famous as a Taylor Swift impersonator, she doesn't look like Taylor as much as Zena did. So what do you think? Is it just a coincidence, or is Taylor the new high priestess of the Church of Satan? Now, some people also believe Taylor's a time traveler and has other clones out there from the past, but that would just be too ridiculous.
You can send in trips of purchase from any 3 Glamour Gals dolls.
I mean, we all have a doppelganger out there, right? So that's not the issue. I think the issue is a lot of these theories ride such a thin line that it might just be true, and at the same time, we need more proof. We need more evidence. But so far, it's pretty wild, the uncanny resemblance.
So these girls went into a thrift store and they saw this Bible, and apparently they didn't even charge them for the Bible. The Bible was free. You know, at a thrift store, things will cost like $1, $3. This Bible was free. And they took this Bible, and when they opened the Bible, so they open the Bible and they see that the words are upside down. Like the Bible is upright, but the titles are upside down. And I've never seen a Bible like that. Y'all can let me know if y'all have seen a Bible like that. But the words are upside down. Then to make matters worse, they put the Bible on their dashboard and they were about to leave. And you will not believe what happened. The alternator just blew out, just big boom. And then it just started leaking. Car just breaks. So I say this to say that when you are buying objects, I don't care what it is, from a thrift shop, from any type of store, from any place, and it's been used by someone else, you probably need to use your discernment and pray over those things before you bring it into your spaces, your car, your house, your bedroom. You need to, because I've seen spirits and demonic things attach themselves to objects and to things like that. I've seen witches do things where they manipulate things that you may think are of God. Like a Bible, you wouldn't think that a witch can go and do something with, but they do. They go and they put little spells on it. They put little incantations on it, and you don't know it because it looks normal on the outside. But when we open it up, you see things are weird on the inside. If you are buying things from these places, whether it's lamps or clocks, anything from these thrift stores or from random people, you need to pray over that thing before you bring it into your dwelling. Because if you don't, things like this can happen. And y'all might say, oh, that is just weird timing, coincidental. This doesn't mean. No, this is real. It happens all the time. All the time. Watch what you bring into your house or into your car. Because I'm telling you, if it's a strong enough spell, a strong enough warlock, or a strong enough witch, I'm telling you, they will find a way to enact those spells and bad things on you.
To piggyback off that, you gotta pay attention to the omens, man. Pay attention to what's going on around you in every situation. That right there, I would have noticed, you know, those first couple of things like the upside down titles and things like that. I don't know, you know what I mean? And they're giving it to you for free. That means they're just trying to get rid of it. Something's up. Something is definitely up.
The two greatest mysteries in all of science. In all of science, the two greatest mysteries are, one, what happened before creation? Why did we have a Big Bang? What banged? Are there other universes, a multiverse, before the Big Bang? That's outer space. Then the second mystery is inner space.
Yes.
What goes on behind your eyeballs? We have 100 billion neurons in your brain, as many as stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Each neuron is connected to 10,000 other neurons. And so what is the brain?
A lot of people don't know this, but that dust inside some of your old vintage camera lenses, most of the time it's not dust at all. It's actually a living organism. It's called lens fungus. The most disturbing part about lens fungus is that it's contagious. It's alive. Like, it's actually alive. It's a real thing that grows inside your camera lens. And once it starts to take hold, it starts eating the coatings, eventually the glass itself. Lens fungus loves humidity, darkness, and closed environments. So the inside of a camera lens is basically a luxury apartment for fungus. That's why your old lenses have that weird hazy look to them. The fungus literally secretes acids that etch the optical coatings permanently. You can wipe the surface off, but the etchings, that damage never goes away. Vintage camera bags used to make it even worse. Leather traps moisture. Back in the day, people stored lenses in the dark. After that, you had Fungus City. Modern lenses have better sealings, better coatings, a cleaner manufacturing process, so it happens way less nowadays. But it can still happen. You live in Florida like me, then good luck. Treat your lenses like they're alive. Put them in dry boxes, silica packs inside the camera bags. Let them get some sunlight like they're alive. Anything that keeps the moisture out. So if you want more random technology on your feed that actually helps you take care of your gear, then follow me.
Not only can they clone people, they can bring you back from the dead, right? Scientists just did this, right? They just killed the rat, let the rat stay dead for over an hour, and then brought him back alive. But they noticed something. It wasn't the same rat. A lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people don't understand everything that they can do that you can do. The people don't understand that you control your mind. Your mind is your only power. It's your original power. Whatever you tell your mind to do, it can do. But if you tell your mind it can't do it, it can't do it.
All facts. He ain't tell no lies, man. Whatever you tell yourself, that's what it is.
Not just a Walmart, I mean a super Walmart. We lost 20 nuclear missiles to UFOs.
A non-human entity deboarded the craft that landed.
The bodies recovered are not all at the same time.
I'm aware of at least 2 advanced non-human species.
All the while, everything in our frame was moving along at 8,000 to 9,000 miles an hour. There's nothing of ours that could have done that. Could have done that.
Just a few days ago, we got a documentary that has compiled all of the recent alien stuff that's been going on over the last 10 years.
When society realizes everything it's been taught about the entire history of our species has been wrong.
Now, a lot of this documentary covers a lot of things that we already know or we just saw for ourselves as it was happening. But there's a few new things that we haven't seen or learned of yet, namely the new breakthrough theory.
With enough energy, you could create a warp bubble around a spacecraft that would have a different property of space-time inside the bubble than on the outside of the bubble.
So it'd be like riding space-time in the same way that a surfer would ride a wave in the ocean. This one breakthrough
can be the key to interstellar travel.
The other big piece of information in this documentary is the Legacy Program. It is apparently a government organization that has been orchestrating the cover-up of every single UAP thing that we've had in the United States for the last like 80 years.
The Legacy Program was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
This was a fascinating documentary to watch. I absolutely recommend it. So if you would like to watch it for yourself, it is called The Age of Disclosure, and it's currently available over on Prime Video. I'll see you guys later.
There is a cemetery in China unlike any other in the world. Here, the dead are not buried underground. Instead, their bodies rest behind clear glass panels, allowing visitors to watch how a human being slowly returns to nature over time. Yet this place is not meant to frighten. It is a space for reflection, a silent reminder of the destiny shared by all living beings. Visitors stand in quiet respect, observing the scene with a mix of awe and humility. In those still moments, they begin to feel the true weight of life's fragility and its value. The message of this unusual cemetery is simple but powerful. Remember that you are mortal. So live sincerely, live with purpose, and leave behind something meaningful, something that will outlast you. Because in the end, it is not the body behind the glass that matters, but the legacy you create while you're alive.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I would subscribe to that. I think it's much more respectful to have them enclosed so you're not watching them, slowly decay over time. And plus, I feel like a person's deceased loved one is a very kind of personal thing. So I wouldn't want the whole world, watching my loved one just decay. But let me know what you think. Is that something you think you'd be into or not?
The Chinese government made Yao Ming's parents marry.
Oh, they made them marry?
They made him marry and have a baby. His mother was the tallest woman on the Chinese national team, and his father was the tallest guy.
And they made them get married.
So you guys have to have a baby for the republic.
Damn. And they came up with Yao Ming.
They came up with Yao.
Damn, I did not know that. You about to look that up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was tough.
The reports of Chinese government making Yao Ming's parents to produce star athlete are exaggerated of the state's run sports program that them together. The story is not one of genetic engineering, but a state of sponsored athletic system with eugenics undertones.
I don't know. It sounds like
I don't
Craig
know.
Right. I'm going
yeah,
with Craig's
it kind of sounds like, yeah.
I'm going with Craig's theory right now.
Because they're not denying it.
Do you know how incredible the NBA would be if Shaq and Lisa Leslie had a baby? If LeBron and Serena had a baby,
the scary part about that is it's a girl. Get you
Former employee who's suing the company says he secretly recorded Campbell's VP and Chief Information Security Officer Martin Bally during what that worker describes as an hour-long tirade.
We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit? So healthy. Now that I know what the in it. Even in a can of soup, I look at it, look at me, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
So not only does he talk about the food, but this lawsuit also alleges that this VP went on to talk about employees at the company, and the lawsuit alleges that they're racist comments. Apparently, the former employee reported all of this to his manager. He says that some time went on and he wasn't encouraged to go to HR, and so he got fired. And what he's saying now is that he believes his firing was retaliation for him coming forward and speaking out about all of this.
It's nothing for Campbell's to get canceled. It's not like they were like the most fire soup on the market anyway. I can definitely believe that meat is 3D printed. I mean, if you've ever looked at any of the chicken or the beef that's coming out of those Campbell's cans, be honest, it definitely looks fake.
That he would see and hear things coming from these furnaces when they're burning the bodies. So when I'm walking through here...
Then, in the next room, something super creepy happens.
They usually put the urns out to send to the families. So when I'm walking here at night, I walk right by these urns that they put on these tables here. And then I come down, freaking out.
A single urn begins to vibrate on its own, while every other urn in the room remains completely still. Moments later, the lid on that same urn begins to creak open by itself. Panicking, the guard bolts out of the room and reports the incident to his supervisor. But before the clip ends, the camera captures one final chilling detail. As he runs through the doorway, the plastic flaps on the door move, as if something unseen is following him out.
Here are celebrities that are related to historical figures. So Hilary Duff is famously an 18th generation descendant of the 14th century King Edward III, meaning she's the closest American celebrity to British royal lineage. Anderson Cooper is the great-great-great-grandson to Cornelius Vanderbilt, the Vanderbilts being one of America's richest dynasties, but was notably left with no inheritance because the family lost all their money in the 1970s. Ben Affleck is the 11th cousin to Obama, and Brad Pitt is actually 9th cousins with Obama. Brad Pitt is also a 25th cousin of King Henry II of England, as is Beyonce through her Creole roots. George Clooney is a half first cousin, 5 times removed of Abraham Lincoln, while Tom Hanks is the 3rd cousin, 4 generations removed of the 16th president. Robert Pattinson is distantly related to Vlad the Impaler, the basis for Dracula, which is ironic because he played a vampire in Twilight, and Benedict Cumberbatch is the 16th cousin of King Richard III, and he actually played him on a TV show called The Hollow Crown. And finally, Bill Hader and Sir Christopher Lee are both direct descendants of the Roman Emperor Charlemagne, making him the most represented historical figure in all of media and celebrity. Pretty cool, right?
Hey, 6 degrees of separation is a real thing.
Oh my goodness, this is starting to get very real. Candace just said the White House confirmed her receipts that the French government, specifically the Macrons, are planning an assassination hit on her. She provided an update this morning saying, "Our show will be off air this week. As an update, both the White House and our counterterrorism agencies have confirmed receipt of what I reported publicly. Emmanuel Macron attempted to organize my assassination per a source close to the first couple. Also, I will again state that French legionnaires were involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, but they did not act alone. For all of you who doubted my claims, you can now look to the President of the United States and our intelligence communities to issue a statement to confirm whether I am telling the truth or not." I like Candace Owens and I think she's telling the truth, but I know a lot of you don't, especially as of late because of what she's doing with the investigation of Charlie Kirk and what she says about Israel. So just take it from this guy.
I don't care how much you don't like Candace. I don't care how much you've been trashing the American government and the FBI. They got to do something. And I'm going to tell you what they will do. It doesn't matter right, wrong, or indifferent. They have to investigate this. They have to investigate this. And I think that if it is found to be true and the proof prevails, which I'm convinced, after talking to Candace and the stuff that we talked about, I'm convinced, then that means that there should be dire consequences for the French government.
At the end of the day, these are people who have grown platforms to talk about what they believe in and they fight for it. Candace Owens is one of these people. She probably has the biggest platform in the world, and that has a lot of influence on people, including myself. So when you talk about controversial stuff and you stand on it, it pisses really strong people off, and now they want her killed. And no one should be killed for what they believe in.
Nah, at the end of the day, people definitely deserve the right to speak on whatever they would like to speak on without the fear of any kind of retaliation from any 3-letter agency or other countries. So that whole situation that Candace has going on is very wild and suspicious.
This new X update is exposing a lot of news and political accounts, so if you get your news from social media, specifically X, you need to watch this video. The new update is you can see which country each account is based out of now, and the stuff that is coming out is actually hilarious. Ivanka News account, over 1 million followers, based in Nigeria. You had the @American account based in Pakistan. Both accounts are now gone, by the way, thank God. You also had an America First account based in Bangladesh. You had an anti-Trump account based in Kenya, the Russian Army account based in South Asia, and this is the weirdest one. The Homeland Security account for the United States of America at first was based in Israel. Now let me make this clear, this now has been changed to the United States, but of course this got social media buzzing because it was Israel, and here's a screen recording of it. This was not altered, but Nikita himself, the head product of X, said, "The new feature was shut off for a bit in the beginning because the account creation was incorrect on a small subset of old accounts. Stop spreading misinformation." But you can't lie, that is very, very suspicious. Now besides that, there's a very important question to be asked. Are these just bot farms overseas trying to make a quick buck off of trending politics? Or are these foreign nations trying to interfere somehow? Regardless of that, make sure you know where you're getting your news from on social media. The least you can do on X is just see where the account is based out of.
Face tattoos is a great warning of just massive levels of mental instability. I actually think people can look good with tattoos. I'm not really anti-tattoo, but the science is in. It's like lots of tattoos is almost always high anxiety, which is comorbid with depression. People's actions leave clues to their inner mind. And since I read that science 5 years ago, you find someone with a whole bunch of tattoos, you dig in and their anxiety levels 1 to 100 is almost always 80, 90, or 100.
Interesting.
Yeah, body modification is very correlated with depression too. So it's not just cutting, lots of piercings, lots of things.
Elon Musk's ex, the mother of his child, maybe a slip of the tongue?
I think there's quite a bit of abdication of responsibility around like, what are we going to do as people's jobs start being taken fairly aggressively? Luckily, there's a massive population drop coming. So maybe everything is just fate and it's going to work out okay. But I feel like we might get like very, very, very good AI across every pillar of art.
Was that an oops or what? You do see that predicted in the Georgia Guidestones. The population of the Earth being maintained at 500 million. It's all coinciding with AI, it seems like.
Well, you guys say that's another one in the books, man. Big shout out to everybody on this beautiful Turkey Day. And for all the iTrack fam across the globe, man, I hope you're enjoying your day just the same. Make sure to smash that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, and I will definitely catch you guys on the next one.